All right, this is day 25. Let's get to it. So, day 24, not a whole lot that I didn't already say, but Texas ended up a little too tall. Tennessee might have been a little too thick. And then North Carolina ended up huge, which means that Virginia ended up kind of looking like a mound rather than kind of a, I don't know, like a skewed triangle, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't happy with that one at all. Uh, yeah, not a whole lot here. I did do some studying beforehand and some practicing, so hopefully I do a little better today. Let's get to it. There we go. All right, starting with Washington. All Washington, no Squashington. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get this kind of. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna be happy with that one, but don't really have a choice, as it were. We'll say I'm not starting over, so I'm just gonna go out and say I am not happy with that Washington, but I think Oregon should be a good bit taller than what it is, so we'll live with that mistake and just move on. Okay, I am actually none too happy with that Montana either, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably about as much as I want. I'm gonna make sure this is angle is steep enough this time. Yeah, it's gonna be a little ugly today. Okay, four corners. One thing that I've actually noticed about this is that as I've continued to do these, I have gotten faster at this too. Like the first few videos are definitely slower than like the more recent ones, I guess. It's not necessarily a good. I mean, it's good, but like at the same time, like this is not a speed contest. But I am kind of, a lot of the features are becoming a little more second nature, which is good, I think. Okay, I'm not happy with that, California. Not at all. Like, yeah, that's a pretty ugly California, but we deal, we move on. Texas Panhandle, not super wide. Not as wide as the jug handle, so you always gotta remember that. One panhandle, two panhandles. Ah, shit, didn't mean to do that. And we'll call that not quite three panhandles there. And basically just a winding Red River down here. Okay, I think Oklahoma's going to be a little wide today. Okay, got some potential in Texas there, so hopefully we can convert that one there. So, all right, Nebraska. About 3/4 of the way up here in Colorado is the other part of Nebraska. This one goes about 2/3 up, rather halfway up Colorado, juts in, kind of comes back out. Go. And then, let's see, a little bit there, and then kind of, let's see if we can get this right here. There we go, not bad actually. Okay, and then like 1/4 of the way up Montana, there we go, is where South Dakota ends, North Dakota starts. Okay, very squished. Very much squished. I don't know what happened on that one. I mean, South Dakota is clearly a little too high up on that one, but really these states are all just a little bit too wide, so we deal. We deal as always. Actually, that errant mark I made, it's going to help out a little bit. So, like, that's going to be about the southern point of Texas right there. That's what we're going to work with. I've done worse. That's not half bad. I think this needed to drop down a little earlier, actually. If I didn't put this bulge in it, it'd be just about perfect. So, you live, you learn, you fuck up. What are you going to do? All right, let's see. Made Arkansas a little wide, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. Consequences. We are hitting consequences. Consequences of making this all squished up. Minnesota is going to be a little squished here too, so. But as far as consequences go, they are not the worst I could possibly be facing at this point, so I'm not going to complain that much about it. Okay, get Chicago in here. Try to get this about right. Okay, now what I learned between yesterday and today is that the Tennessee northern border actually is on the same latitude as the Missouri southern border. Things I didn't know. I thought it was much further south than that, but there's the northern border of Tennessee. And also the southern border of Kentucky for that matter. And then Kentucky it does go up a little bit. soon after, but is that right? Did I screw this up? No, it's even further south. Actually, the northern, most of the northern border of Tennessee coincides with the southern border of Missouri, I believe. So it's like that, but we'll just bring it down a little bit. But yeah, it's like the border, basically the border of Tennessee is a lot further south than I thought it was, and that's going to affect things, so. And then all I gotta do is just figure out where Tennessee kind of ends here, which is kind of a trick, but Mississippi's gonna be a little wide. Tennessee, North Carolina, okay. Hopefully North Carolina is not gigantic now as a result. Okay, so Illinois, Indiana, which his eastern border comes down about as far as Illinois' straight border there. Okay, and then we'll figure this out here. Wisconsin. Okay, and then Michigan's Upper Peninsula kind of does that number. And then we'll finish drawing that later, actually, so that way we kind of okay, that's Ohio. And then we're gonna do, okay, so yeah, Mississippi border basically coincides with the Illinois eastern border. Alabama goes like most of the way across Kentucky, or not Kentucky, Indiana. So it's like that there maybe. And then Georgia's the rest of Tennessee, but we're gonna figure out where that kind of does its thing later here. Pennsylvania. Kind of start it and then we'll finish it later. Like I start a lot of states before without finishing them because like I have like certain cues that I want to make sure I get in, you know. For example, like the West Virginia Panhandle, the amount of the western Pennsylvania border it takes up is actually close to the same distance. Basically, it cuts off like a square of Pennsylvania down here. Like this distance here is basically the same as that distance there. So, kind of something I guess I try to use as a cue, so I don't, so I can get the proportions at least kind of close to right, you know. So, okay, West Virginia, Kentucky border kind of goes halfway across that. Okay, and then this is a kind of a tricky. West Virginia is always a tricky state to draw for me. There we go. That's actually pretty good. This hump here is actually is usually a bit bigger than I think it is. We'll put it that way. Okay, so North Carolina. Let's see if I can get this right. Kind of does that. And then that. Okay, that's actually, I'm actually reasonably happy with this now. So, all right, let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to be happy with that. I think. Not going to speak too soon. Do not speak too soon, Chuck. Do not speak too soon. You have screwed this up before. You will screw this up again. All right, let's get the south done here now that we've kind of passed this hurdle here that I like to screw up on. I'm trying to get the Palmetto State kind of right. Do right by South Carolina. They do right by me. That's not true. I haven't actually meaningfully been to South Carolina in a long time, so I'm sure they're lovely. I have nothing against them. Other than they elected Lindsey Graham, but what can you do? Okay, Georgia's going to be a little bit fat. Okay, that border slope is gonna have to get some revisiting here, because I've done that a few times now and I don't want to do it again. So okay, Georgia has some coastline there. Okay, Florida kind of does that number. Florida's actually a pretty big state, so did I just leave out Louisiana here? I mean, I guess I didn't technically leave it out per se, but I just kind of left a conspicuous gap there where it should have been. It's kind of funny. All right, here we go. Let's see. Back to business here. Right, DC is somewhere there, but all right, let's see if I can get the shape of New Jersey right this time. I have to think about this. So, like, there's like New Jersey has like a western crook and an eastern crook, and a whole bunch of other crooks in that state. But those two corners they're not at the same angle, I guess. Like, one is tilted more than the other, and I gotta try to remember which is which. I practiced this like right before this too, so I'll make sure I get this right. Okay, get that southern half of the state there. Okay, let's see. That's actually I think that's pretty close. I'm gonna be happy with that, I think. And then New York actually kind of juts into that eastern crook there too. So okay, let's see now. That's about what Connecticut is. That's about Massachusetts. It's going to go up. It's going to come in for Vermont, and it's going to end up right about there. Right, something like that. Okay, not happy with New York. I got to study that one a little bit. The funny thing is, I know I have studied it before and done better with it, so we're We're going to try to get that back. I don't know if Rhode Island's ever going to have any meaningful amount of detail on this, to be honest with you, but what am I going to do, right? All right, let's see if I can get Vermont and New Hampshire kind of, at least kind of close. Okay, Vermont juts out at the end there actually a little bit. And New Hampshire kind of does. I'm trying to remember. It does have coastline. It's like there. Right there, and then like that. Okay, now Maine. This is gonna be the this is a state that I practiced like once right before this, so we're gonna see if I can kind of get it reasonable. I'm trying to remember. There's a gradual slope on top, and then it gets steeper. But how much steeper and how quickly is the question. So it's like that, and then like that. And then it kind of does that. It has a whole bunch of little inlets there. It's a very jagged southern coast. Okay, not bad. I've done a lot worse. Okay, Michigan has like another, has the right leaf of this cucumber eggplant looking thing, and then like another kind of, has like another little, like a hat on top almost. I don't know how else to describe that, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's how I'm going to describe it. It's a hat. Oh god, I'm going to cut off Michigan's head. Okay, and then it kind of actually does that. Ugly, ugly, ugly. But that's part of that is because I squashed these states over here, which has ramifications 3 states over. What are you going to do about it? Okay, overall, I think this so far has actually been one of my better maps, to be honest with you, especially like around the East Coast. Like here, I'm very happy with this right here. Like, I really can't complain about that. So, on a map where I have some things to complain about, that is not going to be one of them. Okay, Alaska, like that. Okay. And then these islands here. So one kind of triangular one, and then a whole bunch of other ones that I'm not going to even try to get the right shape of. Yeah. Comes in a little bit, and then there is like a peninsula that comes out that I don't know the name of, but I'm going to try to draw it. Kind of does like that, and then like that. And then this is like the Aleutians and stuff, so. And then the Kodiak Islands kind of out there. Okay, let's see. Let's come east a little bit, or west rather. East. Okay, I gotta get this, like, the shape of this bay kind of figured out here a little bit more, because I definitely don't have it at all. Okay, so the rest of the state kind of peaks and then goes down, but that's the extent of my kind of knowledge of it, I guess. Okay, let's see now. Okay. We are actually, I think we're kind of getting there. There's more things I'm happy about on this map than I am not happy. Not that happy with New York, needless to say. I'm really happy with actually the Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee combo. Actually, Georgia, we're gonna investigate a little bit, see why that looks kind of fat. Maybe I made this the western border of South Carolina a little too gradual. It needs to be a little steeper, but I'll take a look at that. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up right now and take a look. Yeah, I did make it a little too gradual. It needs to be. It kind of steepens out after this first part here, but we're gonna practice that. So, but yeah, a lot that I'm happy about on this one. Not so happy that I squished a few states here, but again, I think it may all just start because I had Squashington again. So, who knows? But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.